used to use it. Today, I'm going to do a podcast with Kathy and Crystal Crouse of Burhans-Crouse Funeral Home. They're having a issue with the Columbia Gas. I'm sure you've seen it or read about it online. It made the news. It's kind of a big deal around here. I'm going to introduce you to Kathy. Crystal Crouse. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Okay, this is being recorded, so you can be as candid as you like, and I'll edit it out if there's something you don't feel comfortable in saying. So if you get a little profanity laced, I can take it out of it. Okay.
Well, that's not going to happen. Well.
Okay. So tell me about what's going on with the funeral home. What is? I mean, I know a little bit. You've talked to me, but I want everyone out there to understand what's happening. What's going on with what's the issue here?
Well, 2 years ago, I got a letter in the mail, and it was from Columbia Gas, and they decided they wanted to abandon my gas service.
Just abandon it.
Abandon.
Yeah, so put you out of business.
Which means I don't have gas, and which I do now. And I hired an attorney and to fight it because I need the gas to run my business. And I have 5 apartments above the funeral home.
So not just your business, but people living there are at stake.
Correct.
Yes, okay.
So if I don't have gas, then I can't run my business properly. The apartments won't have hot water. How do I have rentals without hot water?
So we have gas, but they just want to abandon you. They're
Right.
putting in new lines, and they just said, we're done with you, without even giving you a viable reason.
Well, they did all of Dunbar on the other side of the bridge. So that project, I think, is completed. When they got to me, they said that, well, it just cost too much money. Well, I'm kind of confused as to if they had money to do the project, and I am the project, and I got a letter just like everybody else did 2 months before I got the abandonment notice that they were doing the project. So I didn't think anything of it. I mean, if you get a letter that they're going to replace the lines, okay. So that's what I thought until 2 months later, I got the letter that said that they were going to abandon me, which means
for really no reason other than they don't want to cross the street, or is it cross the railroad? Is that it? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm not sure. I don't think they want to deal with the railroad because the railroads are notorious for being hard to deal with. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm not sure what the thing is. I mean, they say it would cost too much money, but for me to convert to another source would cost me probably close to $300,000 or more with all the estimates I got.
You have estimates. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was going to get at.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So basically we're looking at a David versus Goliath thing here.
Correct.
With you being David.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm David.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your family is very integral to the community. I mean, not just Dunbar, because I know a lot of people that use your funeral home when it's needed. But you also are very involved in the community. I was reading you're involved in the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Little League, Dunbar Library, Historical Society. You do the Dunbar Fest. You pretty much do everything. I mean,
churches, fire companies.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I know a lot of people are behind you and they really want to know what's going on here. But also I want people to understand how it's affecting your family. I mean, like, how is this affecting what kind of grief and hardships is this causing? Other than I'm sure cost and just concern, worry. Are you going to be able to? Plus, you have 5 apartments How many people are living in these apartments? After living there a long time, how is it? This is going to affect a lot of people.
Well, right now, we had started to remodel them because they had been empty for a while.
Okay.
And Crystal lives in one of them. And the other ones we started to remodel. And when this all came up, we stopped because, you know, I only have so much money and I have to budget. As we would get money, we would remodel things. We wanted to put stacked stone on the front of the building. We stopped that project because I'm putting that into legal fees.
Right.
So-
I'm sure legal fees are
Astronomical.
Yeah.
Astronomical.
Like approaching probably around the $80,000 mark
Yeah.
at this point
Wow.
in
Yeah.
legal fees. And
And we're
yes,
not done.
Yeah, we're not done. We've
And
got
you won't be able to recoup those either.
No.
right. Yeah, and we've got more than one lawsuit concurrently running at this point. And yes, we have the apartment that I live in. We have another apartment that we keep for staying that she stays in whenever weather's bad or those things too. So we have two apartments that are operational at this point. And and then as far as the grief, that's
Stress.
Oh, the
Stress?
stress is
Oh.
crazy.
Beyond
Yeah.
belief. Restless nights.
it's been basically 2 years of never ending constant stress.
And you don't know if you're going to be in business or if you're going to be closed.
Right.
I mean, because
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
survive if they take, like, so they want to eliminate you, and they didn't give you a reason why they want to eliminate you.
Yeah, so they've basically said it will cost too much. They have not, there's depositions have gone back and forth. They have not answered the question as to what the cost will be. They have
Or how they figure it out.
right. They've not responded. They've left those questions blank. Like they've not responded with what the cost is, how to determine the cost. They've even responded to the PUC with 4 different options. But there are other options that we've had, an engineer we have hired as part of our legal defense, team has come up with other options for
So they're
the
basically-
line. They've ignored that
Yeah.
completely.
They always
They
find
just-
something wrong with them.
They just don't give you a straight answer. They don't answer questions. They just
Say it's not viable.
right, and that's it. But they
Do
don't
you guys have
give you
any
information.
theories
There's nothing.
on why they're being so difficult? Why they won't allow this? I mean, there's already pipe. You're already hooked up. I mean,
Right.
I mean, it's not like it can't be done. They
Right.
just want to put in new lines.
Right.
But they're just saying they're not going to put the new lines to your building, which you're a staple of the community. You've been there. What if since 1902 that it's been
Yeah,
serving
it's
the
been in
community?
business since 1902. My parents bought it in 1984. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not new.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
It's been there for a long time. Yeah, and there's been so many different speculations at this point as to what the reason is, because they've been, so aggressive in this. I mean, this is not, we were part of the project. It's not like we weren't part of the original replacement project. We were, and then all of a sudden we weren't. We're at the end of the line, and we all of a sudden became not part of the project.
I mean, it's right across the street.
It literally is
Yeah,
right across.
it's
So
not,
like
it's not like they have a
Right.
travel. It's
right. It's not far. You can actually see the line. It's not far. Supposedly there's even life left on the line. Like we've been told that there's a significant amount
they
of
can
life
just hook it
left
into
on the
your-
line. Right. It's
the lines that are already there.
right. Like it's there. But again, it's really hard to get a straight answer. They don't interact with us. They don't really give us the answer. It's very frustration. I don't know if you could multiply that word exponentially, but that's what that is. To put it mildly, it is so incredibly frustrating to deal with this. And not only has Columbia Gas come back at us, but the PUC has aggressively, come back at us also, which is kind of like unprecedented that to have them both come together and come at us with such force as they have. It seems like there is more to this than
Yeah,
meets the eye.
Yeah, you have
for
a lot
sure.
of seems like you have a lot of local support. I mean, it seems like everybody's
Tremendously.
behind you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
did you try local government?
We have.
And
Yeah.
did they help at all, or are they also up against a wall? Which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why can't you get any help?
I don't know. We seem to just kind of be hitting.
We
walls. We're not
we
really-
have them say, well, we'll get back to you. And then when they do this, well, we can't do anything.
Yeah, we're not really getting anywhere.
So we don't, we don't know what's going on. And as far as local support, there's a petition out there, and people.
Which I wanted you to bring a petition.
I did.
Did you?
I brought it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to have it available here in Hutch's in the restaurant. I'm going to have it available for anyone that wants to sign.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tons of people.
Yeah.
Of people. I was out on the sidewalk one day this past week, and I had vehicles stop and ask me, "Is there anything we can do? You just call me. Let me know. I'll do whatever I can to help you." And where's that petition? I want to sign. So I run into the funeral home, grab it, take it back out.
We're coming and taking them off
yeah.
the community. There are multiple places in the community. The one thing about, we've kind of been doing this on our own for the last
Yeah.
couple of years, just
How long has this been going on?
almost 2 years.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
been 2 years. It was 2 years in the beginning of June.
Yeah.
And is it now coming to a point where there's any? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel, or are they getting more aggressive with you?
I'd say
I'd say
they've gotten more
aggressive for sure.
Okay.
They're certainly getting more aggressive. And yeah, they're getting more aggressive, I would say is the
Yeah,
the
we're
right way to
we're
put
kind of
that.
watching what we're saying here on some
Yeah.
issues here, guys. I know a little bit more about this than we're going to put out there.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking these questions, and we're trying to make sure that people know that it's not going away, and that they are, Kathy and Crystal are up against it, and there's a lot of people that have their backs, but also for some reason there's powers that be that don't want them to be able to succeed. Trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure out why and how we can keep them in business.
We keep thinking there's somebody in Columbia Gas that if they knew what was going on, because they claim that they're community minded, if they would just look at what we do, we're community minded and have been since we've been there. I don't understand, if you have a company that's supposed to be community minded, this is going to hurt our community.
Significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just about one family and that family's employees, but this is so much more. Like, there is a trickle down effect.
Sure, the impact would
that's-
be.
Yeah, it's significant.
Yeah.
I mean, my family has, and, since we went public and it kind of went out there, and she's come to terms with the fact that I have put that out there. But, I was raised that you become an integral part of your community, and that is what my family is. Like, they are the community.
Right.
And the older I get, the more I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal.
Well, the
and-
community hasn't abandoned you. That's all.
No, the community, the one thing about really making this like the public aware, like it's never been like something that we hid, but we just weren't public with it, is the community support is tremendous. I can't possibly express to you how
outraged people are.
yes,
They're really upset with
up
Columbia
in
Gas.
arms. We've kind of had to like simmer people down because people are so angry that we've had to just kind of like temper them a bit, and try to have them go about things in a petition kind of way. Like, because people are just, they're fired up.
Right.
Because they support us more than I think we even realized.
We didn't realize.
No, we had
didn't
no idea.
realize how much
Yeah.
we meant to the community. I
Yeah.
mean, you hope you do,
Yeah.
but you don't know. When something like this happens, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
It brings you to tears.
that's one reason I mean, I was on my Hutch's page, and Crystal tagged me and said, "Can we do a podcast?" Something to that effect. And I really didn't realize all of this was going on. I had heard some of it, but I didn't realize everything to the extent that her and I conversed a little bit, and yeah, I'm equally outraged too. I mean, I think we need to know why they just won't allow you to continue to stay in business as you
Right.
are. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah. And,
A lot of people are that's, I was going to do a live stream, but I'm not doing a live stream now because Kathy was uncomfortable at being live. So I'm going to have to edit this and then put it up on my page. But I want everybody to comment and either go to Burhans, or you can come to Hutch's, or where else? JB's Market, I believe, has.
yeah, JB's Market, the library, Dunbar Community Library, the funeral home, I have them, at the borough office itself, the Ye Olde Inn, and there's people all through the community, and if you comment, I will email you petitions. You just comment somewhere there, but we will get them to you.
What are you hoping to accomplish with all these signatures?
I think that the goal at the moment is just to show the support of our community. That's really what we're going. The objective right now, and people have asked and had asked so much, what can we do to show our support? And the idea had been brought to us so much, and so many times that and people wanted to start a petition. So we, had an official one that had been approved. Here, this is a place that you can do that, and to try to, gather that into in one place. So that is the current objective, is to really collect in one unit.
Just let people know how important. Let the big boys know that
That's
they
right.
can't push you
Right.
guys around, and they're taking this grassroots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at some of my notes here. I think I went over pretty much everything that I have here. Just to wrap this up, what would happen? What do you think would happen to the community if you can't go on? I mean, come on, you guys have been there forever. I mean, I've been in a funeral home so many times. You never like to go to a funeral home, but it is a landmark. It's a local it's a local institution.
Yeah. It's one of, there's only a couple of businesses in our borough. Like, our
Right.
borough needs revitalization, which is one of the reasons that we try to be so involved in the community to begin with. Like community fest and things, we're trying to bring people into the community, not push people out.
Right. Dunbar can't afford to lose.
No, it really can't. And being probably one of the bigger taxpayers to begin with in the borough and things,
That's
it
right.
can't afford to lose that.
How will this impact you? You guys have been your life. I've run a business my entire life. I know, thoughts of not doing there or being there anymore. It's got to really have you question what you're going to, everything.
We don't know.
Yeah, that's
We don't know.
That's what I wonder from Kathy more.
Yeah,
than anything. You've been there
we
for-
don't know. It's my income. If I don't have gas in the building, what good is the building? Who's going to buy it?
Right.
Does somebody else want to come in and spend, $300,000 or more to revamp it? Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
Right. That's what I'm trying to.
So what would I do with this building? So everything we worked for, my husband and I worked for, all along, be gone.
Simply because they don't want to run the gas line across the street.
Yeah. I just keep hoping that there's somebody in Columbia Gas who can fix this, that is not aware of what's going on. They're a big company. So there's somebody there. Please help. Please stop this.
Well, yeah. This, I see Crystal's tearing up, and I'm kind of tearing up. I know what it is to be in business your whole life and be faced with those kind of issues and then decisions. And, Kathy, we're going to try and get this message out there. Not only is this going to impact the community, it's going, how much on a personal, on a human level, what this is doing to your family. This is just, everyone reads what what the situation is, but to see how it affects somebody. This is awful. This is awful because it's there's more to it. Number one, I can't understand why they can't run it across the street if the lines they're already in existence, and they're already they're not degraded to the point where they need to be torn up anyway. So they don't have to be removed. There's no reason for the letter of abandonment. So this is all a totally needless situation, horror show that they're putting you through.
Yeah. I mean, we've said a lot. If there was an emergency tomorrow,
What would they do?
what would they do?
Right.
Replace the line? You know, if there had been a gas leak or something this whole last 2 years that we've been going through this, what would they have done? If there had been an emergency that whole time, what would they have done?
Right. Right. This is
So, I mean,
okay, guys. There's going to be a petition out there. I'll have one here at Hutch's. Crystal already said where they're going to be. You can comment on here. Leave comments when I have this posted. Let's try and get behind these people. They're good people that have do a lot for the community, and the community's sticking by them. But for some reason, the powers that be, the PUC, is trying to run them out of business, and there's a lot of theories on why, but without having any proof, there's no reason to just bring up theories. But we need to do something, guys. So I'm going to let Crystal and Kathy say goodbye and one short message, then I'm going to sign off. You're on, guys.
We appreciate everything you're doing to try to help us. There's a lot of good people out there, and they're frustrated just like we are because they don't understand. They don't know why this is happening. They don't want us to shut down. I mean, obviously, there's only a couple businesses in Dunbar. And
let me just add one thing to that. People aren't realizing that maybe not. It's part of a mountain community, and there are generations and generations and generations of people that have used this funeral home for their loved ones. It's not like, and it's like the only one in the area for them to use. It's not like a thriving community where you have choices. There's one funeral home, and it has been used by families in this area and for ever since 1902.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, generations. Yeah.
So we're not only losing a small business, family-owned business that's trying to survive, we're losing part of the people deeply feel the loss of history.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's family that has become our family and vice versa. We see that, and we knew that already, I think, but reading,
Wow.
we've had even just the posts since they've gone up, seeing the post shared, and then, all the different comments and things, and I've been sending them to her a lot. You really start to realize how true that actually is.
Like, you buried my great-grandparents.
Yeah.
You buried my grandparents. You buried my parents. And you're going to bury me.
Yeah. And people view us as part of their family and vice versa.
Yes. Yeah.
And to see that, and to see just how deep that meaning and that feeling goes.
I'm friends with a couple of families up in, let's say, the Chalk Hill area. And I've been to several, and these were mountain folk, like friends of mine that their mother would pass, and I've gone to several funerals down there, and it's not like any other funeral home atmosphere that you're going to get. These people need this. They need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We care about our families. They become our families. They become family to us.
Right.
So, I mean, it's you just become close to them. You
Right.
become friends. You help them through, and they're just good people.
Yeah. So we're already losing too much. We can't lose everything. This is worth the fight. We're going to try and do whatever we can to help you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'm just going to sign off now. I'll post this soon, and these are two wonderful ladies, and they deserve our support. Okay, thank you very much.